Lil Wayne gave you your name.
Gigi Maguire.
That's crazy.
There's also a song where he talks about how good I suck his dick, but... So there was this time where me and Wayne had a little friendship, with benefits friendship. He was my buddy, and I was at the concert with my boyfriend at the time, who was my ex that I was with for so long, and Lil Wayne sees me, and he throws his hands up, and I'm like, oh shit, right? When Corey Guns goes to rap his verse, he runs to the side of the stage, grabs my face, and kisses me in my mouth. My boyfriend is standing right behind me.
So wait, all right, Mercedes, because I'm not gonna lie to you, like,
You're not a P-Valley fan?
I never watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the similarities is the storyline with Mercedes is she is the it girl of the Pink. The Pink is the strip club in Chucalissa, Mississippi that Uncle Clifford, who's the tranny guy, who he owns, right? Mercedes is the queen of the club. There's a feature stage set that she's a part of, which is 3 women. She is trying to have her last dance, and she wants to use that last dance money to open up a dance studio for the drill team of young women that she coaches, and one of them just so happens to be the daughter that was taken away from her because she had the daughter at 15 by a married man, and when he passed away, he got his wife to keep the daughter away from her. So she's trying to get her daughter back. She's trying to have this last dance so she can retire from dancing and focus on this gym that she wants to open for her girls, and she faces some obstacles, right? Yeah. So season 1 ends with her supposed to be having this last dance, but she never has the last dance. In season 2, she ends up getting her daughter back and unofficially having her last dance, and she opens up a pole dance studio. So my real life story is I came to Atlanta and I was bartending at the time. I had 2 years of dancing experience, but never, it was like white clubs. Like I was like a, one of these dancers. I wasn't the,
Yeah.
So I
like
came
Rhino
to,
in Vegas.
I came to So I came to Atlanta. I won the amateur night contest. I was immediately asked to work at Magic City from the owner, and that was the first history-making moment I made. Within a year, I was their very first feature performer, and I created my own stage set called the Snack Pack. The Trinity was Mercedes. The Snack Pack was Magic City. When Kaiser told me that he didn't want me to dance anymore, I decided to leave. And they were like, you can't just leave. Like, you're not just any old average stripper. Like, you're like the best entertainer we ever seen.
Yeah.
You have to give the people
You're
something.
the show.
Right.
Like,
so I'm like, all right. So I was like, I'm going to have a farewell party. I ended up naming the farewell party The Last Dance because my theme was Flash Dance. And it was my last time on Magic City stage. So I had a whole Flash Dance theme, but I crossed out Flash and made it last. Who knew that was going to turn into something? But look how many strippers have had last dances since. What's this girl? Did it on Love and Hip Hop. That was her introduction to Love and Hip Hop. She was having her last dance in Miami, Jessica Don. So after my last dance, I made $30,000 approximately, and I took that money and I opened up a pole dancing studio. Season 2 ended with Mercedes taking her money and opening a pole dance studio. Not to mention, the other main character, her name was Autumn Night. She got hired. Oh, I left out a part. I moved to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta the day of Hurricane Katrina, just by coincidence. But I was fleeing Philadelphia because the boyfriend at the time that had a heart attack while we were having sex tried to kill me. So I had to get the fuck away from him. And I just packed up all my shit, put it in the car, drove to Atlanta. When I got there, it was the fucking worst rain monsoon I've ever seen in my life. It was August 29th, the day of Hurricane Katrina, the day the levees broke. Autumn Night, the other main character, there was this flood in which she escaped her abusive boyfriend that was trying to kill her. She ends up in Chucalissa, Mississippi with a suitcase with somebody else's ID, and she goes to the strip club, never even danced before, and she goes in and she does this amateur night contest, and she wins the contest, and they hire her as a dancer. So it was both main characters was my real life main story used as a muse for P-Valley. And the creator herself in season 1, the creator herself went on a press run and she definitely said Gigi Maguire is a muse, and I wanted to have it as though Mercedes was packing out the pink the way Gigi Maguire would pack out a Magic City Monday. And then, again, when they came on Lipservice, it was all like brought to surface, and we had a whole like come to Jesus moment about me being that bitch. So yeah.
You being a bitch.
No, that bitch.
Oh.
Yeah, that bitch.
Well, either way, I want to say that that's fucking dope.
Yeah, no, it is.
That story
It
is
is.
dope.
Oh,
Because
and-
I don't know. See, like,
Wait,
you
there's
know.
more.
Snack
The other
pack.
two members, the other two members of the snack pack was Virgo and Simone. Virgo and Simone and another girl that used to work with us at Magic City, they are all actresses on P Valley. They are the other strippers in the club that have speaking roles in this whole thing. I got the call from Simone, who is actually a part of production as well. She's like the liaison to authenticate the script because, you know, they wanted to be as real as possible, right? I got a call from her in the beginning of season 2. Hey, P Valley wants to have some real OGs on this season.
Of course.
And your name is at the top of the list. So how do you feel about coming on season 2, wait for it, as yourself?
Damn.
Episode 5, season 2, Gigi Maguire is being honored as a legend in strip alongside Jocelyn Hernandez, Jessica Dime, and Miami Tip from Miami. Tip Drill, yeah. So that's my P Valley story. So yeah, very proud, very mind blown. Hopefully season 3 they write me in the script for real, and then it'll all really be a whole come to Jesus moment. But
Wow. So
wanna
I'm not
put
gonna
my
lie to
phone
you.
down.
I got to be 100% honest with you, right? And this is like off record, I guess.
No, we're actually filming, so
Oh, okay.
and we're live, so I don't know if it's off record.
Well, there's a lot of storylines when it starts in a strip club that I'm like, whatever. But yours is really fucking dope.
thank you.
I ain't gonna lie.
I use this
That's really dope. And
live on here.
I think that is dope. I don't think that is dope because of like we talked about this before. I'm not like emotionally considerate, but I realize that everybody has a story.
I'm not emotionally concerned.
Like everybody has a
I'm
story.
glad
Like,
that you're like open with saying that
yeah, because like
and acknowledging that, because some people might, you know, take that the wrong way.
yeah, and some of them. I mean, listen, trust me. I've seen comments, right? But I think that everybody has a story. Like my story, even though when I thought that my story was crazy tough and and then, you know, I had a situation where somebody had to break it down to me. It's like, you know, there's way more worse stories than yours. So like at that point I had to realize like, okay, you know what? You can't just think that because you had a tough life that. Well, so that's when I kind of clicked for me. But it's not about your story. It's really about where you start, how you finish, and the impact. That's what I'm on. Heavy on the impact and the fact that you got a whole and I know the show, but like now that because I didn't know that a lot of it was based on your real journey, and it's like crazy because like P Valley is like a monumental show right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
Fire.
and it started with your life. Like that's crazy to me. Like your life, not
Well, it technically started with a play that Katori Hall did called Pussy Valley, but when they brought it to a
film.
show, a TV series, I definitely was used as a muse for the storyline because I'm like the queen of strip, like in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like you can't mention Atlanta strip clubs in that time frame and not even the newer girls and not know who Gigi Maguire is. Like I created a lot of these pole tricks that these girls are still doing today. I've had so many memorable moments in the club. Even when Jeezy and Gucci Mane did the verses at Magic City, they was in the comments like, where is Gigi Maguire? Like this ain't right without her. Like y'all need her. Remember it was like a delay and they're like, put Gigi on the pole while we wait. Like y'all need Gigi in the background. Like where's she at? So it's like people know. Like they know.
So like the way I kind of look at stripping is similar to a sport, right? So like, let's say
absolutely.
I play football and then like maybe every so often I go play a football game, right? So like, obviously probably not in a club, but maybe even so, maybe at home, whatever the case may be. Do you ever like, you know what? This is just fun to me. It's something that I really like to do, enjoy doing. Do you just practice pole dancing to this day?
I do. I had a pole in one of the rooms in my house, and I think that pole is the best workout that a woman can do. And not just physically because it's full body, it's core. It's also a mental mind builder. Like, it's a confidence builder. Like, it brings out a confidence in you. Like, you see girls like me doing these crazy pole tricks, defying gravity, how she holding on with just her knees. And then you come to a class and I teach you how to do it, and you like, oh shit, I never thought I could do that. Or I would have students that was 80 pounds and couldn't lift their little 80-pound frames at the pole. But then I have a big 280 bitch come in and flip upside down
And
first.
throw it.
Yeah.
She throwing
You know? And so not only do I, that's part of how I continue to keep my frame all of these years. I also eat very well. But I have an OnlyFans. And a lot of my OnlyFans is me twerking on the pole, or I might do a little 1-2 step. And, people like to see it. So I like to give the people what they like to see, especially when I'm getting paid still. I actually make more money on OnlyFans right now than all of my other hustles, but I thank you. But I make more money. I make probably what I made dancing, and I don't even have to dance, nor do I leave my house. Like, I do it from the privacy of my home, and there's no porn. Sorry, guys. Where's the camera? Sorry, guys. There's no porn on my OnlyFans. You get to see these titties. They're pierced. They're beautiful. I'm going to do a little twerk. You know what I'm saying? I might, my customs get a little racy because they pay $100 a minute for that. So I might do a little masturbation, a little self-love. And, I might deep throw the dildo or two.
Or two.
Yeah.
At the same time?
No.
Oh.
No, but meaning I've done it once or twice.
I've never been on OnlyFans, but that is very tempting, and that's coming from a married man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, OnlyFans is cool.
I was on my do I subscribe?
It's very unfortunate. The stigma that's put on OnlyFans is very unfortunate because people, as soon as you say, "Oh, I got OnlyFans," they automatically think you on there sucking dick or posting your back shot videos that you got in the archives in your phone, and that's not even what the site was created for.
Yeah.
Nor is that what all of the content is. Like, yes, girls are on there giving porn. Yes, it's a lot of that happening, but everybody that has an OnlyFans isn't doing that. And I've never been a porn star. I've never wanted to be a porn star. The only porn you ever going to find is the hidden archives in my phone. My ex might have a few or, a random, but it's not, porn is not what I'm giving and not what I will ever give.
That's so funny because I remember when OnlyFans first came out and I was told, like, yo, you should do this too, but, like, it was way before it became a whole sex thing.
So it became a whole sex thing during COVID.
Really? No, it was definitely sex before COVID.
But it blew.
Because right before COVID.
It was happening before COVID, but it wasn't as mainstream. It became mainstream because us Negroes and everybody else was bored in the house bored. And, a lot of people was deprived. And, we were missing the strip club and we was missing our boo things and we was doing our thing. And then Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce with the remix. And then that month, I made $23,000. The month that the remix came out, when Beyonce said right cheek, left cheek, whatever she said, I might get OnlyFans. I made $23,000.
Did they pay her for that? Cause
I don't know, but I got paid.
It doesn't matter. Somebody got paid.
I'm sure a whole lot of other people got paid. I'm sure that if you ask people that have an OnlyFans, what was their most, monetary whatever month during COVID, they're going to say April. And it was April, May. So it went from, like, I was probably doing like 10,000 average, and then it went 23,000, 18,000, and then it started to go back down to 10 after that.
But, like, see, I kind of feel, and this is only because of what we were speaking about before here, and I feel like it's a little bit different for you. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel as if you do this because that's what you like to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I also think, like, you have the ability to be like, I don't need to do this. This is just fun for me. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that do this because this is what they have to do.
So, honestly, and I don't think that I've said this on any camera, even my own show, and a lot of people don't know this unless you were around at the time. But before I activated, because I started my OnlyFans account when we interviewed, what's my baby with the yellow hair, transgender? Dang, what's her name? I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name right now, girl.
Famous?
No, damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. She's a transgender woman. She has yellow hair. Banana pussy is her hashtag. She's friends with Sydney Starr. I love this girl. I'm so mad I can't think of her name right now. But anyway, it'll come to me. We interviewed her, and she said on Lipservice that she makes $25,000 a month on OnlyFans. So me and Stephanie looked at each other. No, on the ride home, me and Stephanie was like, bitch, what's up with the OnlyFans? So I went and made an account. But I'm still like, okay, it's so taboo. People saying it's porn. I don't know what people gonna think about me. Even though I've never been the what people think person. I do my own thing. What you eat don't make me shit, and vice versa. However, I have a daughter. I have a family. You know, I have this platform with Lipservice where I'm looked at and regarded with a certain respect. I come from the adult entertainment world, and I understand that there's levels to people understanding. My ex couldn't take it, which is why I quit. So I didn't want to, and I've been long 10-year retired, so I didn't want it to come off in a desperate, thirsty, you know, type of way. So I was kind of a little, you know, I made the page, but I was a little apprehensive of posting it, right? So I decided that I sit in the house and do nothing all day. Let me try to find something to do to make some money. Just, you know, why not? So I signed up for Instacart, and I was going to do Instacart. I went in Publix for an hour and a half. And I walked out of Publix, and I went home, and I went through my phone. I said, you know what? Fuck this Instacart shit. I'm about to launch my OnlyFans. I went home, and I went through my phone, and I found all my nudes and all my little twerk videos, and I put cupcake emojis and smiley face emojis over my nipples, and I posted all them nudes. I went to my Instagram, and I posted a video of me, like, on the pole in the room, and twerking and all of that. And I woke up. I went to sleep. It was the night that Kobe Bryant passed away. May he rest in peace. I went to sleep, and I woke up to $1,500. And I'm like, okay, we can do this. That's the beginning. Yeah. We can do this.
Money in your sleep.
We can do this. So, Shauna Brooks, I'm so sorry, my baby. I love you so much. Blame it on the weed. But yeah, I love Shauna. So yeah, Shauna said that she was making 25 bands a month. And I'm like, doing what? And she was like, girl, I'll tell you later. But I ain't even have to know what she was doing. And here's the thing, another thing with OnlyFans. When it comes to different women and who they are, what they bring and what they do, right? So I am known as being this very sexual, open-minded, openly bisexual. I'm a love to suck some dick, talk about it on my show, and that I'm known for being sexual. I used to be a stripper. Everybody knows this is how we know Gigi Maguire, right? So when I put on OnlyFans, when I put out an OnlyFans and I put into the social media, hey, I have OnlyFans, guys are going to look at me like, oh, I'm trying to see what Gigi
that's what
giving. Because look how she look how she talk. She made a nigga damn near die off of the pussy. Like, I want to see what she got going on. Yeah, he had a heart attack. Yeah.
Because she gave the tea. She was like, I don't do much. I might do a little to this. I might do a little. Then she was like, I might do a little. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
so the tease is kind of fly.
So what it is, right. But then you got Tammy from up the street that work at the bank. And she started OnlyFans.
It's over.
And she don't have this following of men who already look at her as a sexual being. So Tammy got to put the porn flicks out because ain't nobody checking for Tammy otherwise.
She got to shock you.
So I didn't have to come with the shock factor because I already come with the sex oozing out of my pores.
Yeah.
People are expecting this from a woman like me. They're not expecting it from Tammy, so Tammy got to go hard to get that coin. I don't.
Well, I mean, it's also a body of work thing too, right? So you've already were doing it. So yeah, it is an expectation, and Tammy obviously has to shock. But what I want to get into or my question is, because it's crazy. I think you're dope. Like, it's fuck. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think you're dope. And do you feel as if? Well, before I even ask you that question, but when you're dating now in a serious relationship, right?
I am in a relationship. Hey, boo.
What are like the two, or give me the top 3 things that you're looking for in a relationship?
As in like a love language thing, or what I expect from my partner, or
whatever, like your top 3 most prioritized factors in that person.
Okay. Honesty, security, and affection.
By security,
I need to know that I'm straight. I need to know that you got my back.
To what extent?
All extents. I need to know that I'm protected when I'm outside, when I'm with you. I need to know that me and my boyfriend got matching Glocks.
Matching Glocks?
Matching Glocks, and we didn't know. So one of the first times that we spent, like, you know, chill at the apartment time together, we both, like, sat down and pulled our guns out. Like, his was on over there.
That's that Atlanta in you.
Like,
that's Atlanta for you.
Yeah. So I need to know that I'm safe with you. I need to know that if I have a problem, I can count on you to fix it. I need to know that security within my relationship. I need to know that it's me for you and you for me, because I'm definitely giving 100%. I need the reciprocity. I need that in return.
That's what I am. I'm a reciprocator, man.
Yeah, same.
And I think that that's a great tone to set, because it's like, well, we were kind of talking about this before, and it's like, I initiate a lot of things, but with certain things, I'm a reciprocator of. You know what I'm saying? When like emotional, remember I told you I'm not emotionally considerate. So you need to actually be the initiator with displaying how much emotion is going to be in this relationship, and I can match that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get that. Now, do you feel as if your history or past life, right, has possibly trumped something that you might have wanted in a man, or maybe it did, or, you know, would have, could have? I mean, I already know a little bit about your dating history, so it's like, all right, it's lit, right?
Yeah.
But was that really the person for you, you know, or...
I'm a strong believer in you are going to get what's for you.
Okay.
I don't think anything is chosen. I think that it's God's plan. I think that it's the universe doing its magic. I think that the good and the bad, you know, is things that we are supposed to experience. I feel like life is about lessons. And even when we go through trauma, losing a loved one, or, you know, an illness or anything like that, we always question, like, why? And I'm one of those people who believe that you're not going to get tested with anything that you can't overcome. And it's up to you to take that hurt and turn it into a triumphant situation. You know, we don't always know why things are happening until we get to the other side of it. And then we're like, it's like that meme where God is holding the big teddy bear and the little girl doesn't want to give him the little teddy bear. It's just like sometimes you just got to, you know, go through the hurt in order to get the reward.
Trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process.
So when you were starting off in your career, right, you weren't doing it, obviously, prior. Dancing. Well, previous career.
I started...
Like before you moved from Philly.
I was dancing in Philly.
Okay.
I danced in Philly for 2 years, and then heart attack guy made me quit. I always...
Heart attack guy. He tried to kill her while he was having a heart attack.
Wait, did he die?
May he rest in peace.
Wow.
I didn't kill him.
Wow.
People think I killed him because on Lipservice we just leave it open because it's, you know, the thing to do. Like, we just, not to say that I killed somebody, but, you know, it keeps them, you know, it's provocative. It keeps the people going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Give him a cliffhanger.
That's
Exactly.
entertainment, people. Don't take it overboard.
Exactly.
Go do your research.
So whenever we talk about it, and, you know, Angela might bring it up, and then I always say, you know, yes, he had a heart attack in the pussy, may he rest in peace. It automatically goes to, oh shit, she killed him, right? I didn't kill him.
Thanks. I would think so.
He ended up in the hospital 12 days total, 7 days in ICU, 5 days in, you know, the after part, and with the heart monitors and the oxygen tubes and all of that. He, after that, was on blood thinners and heart medicine for the rest of his life, but he was a street guy. So after a few years after we broke up, I actually left Philadelphia running from him because he tried to kill me. And he...
Can I ask why?
I tried to break up with him, and he wanted to end my life. So
I hate that.
He... that happened to me multiple times. My life has been very repetitive. Like, things happen to me multiple times. Like, I get tested with the same lessons, I feel like, multiple times. So he wasn't the first person who tried to take my life, a man that I was dealing with. But I wasn't going for that, so I left Philly. And he was in the streets, and he was put in the trunk by gunpoint and shot, and his body was burned. So when they found him burning in...
Passed?
Yeah, when they found his body burning in the trunk of this car that these men put him in, the report, of course, came back that he was shot and burnt. The body was burnt. to, I guess, conceal, the
Whatever happened.
clues, right?
He was into.
So when the autopsy came back, he actually died of a heart attack. He knew when them people put him in that trunk and pulled that gun out, he had a heart attack and died before they even shot him.
And they just left it there.
But they still shot him and still burnt his body because, of course, they didn't know that he had a heart attack and died. Like, how did they know that? So, yeah, he did eventually die of a heart attack, but not the heart attack that he had in my vagina. I didn't kill him.
What is that like for somebody to have a heart attack in your vagina?
I was 25 years old. I'm 43 right now.
Wait, somebody had a heart attack in the vagina?
That's what she's talking about. The guy had a heart attack while having sex with her.
Was he on something?
He was 31 years old. He wasn't on any drugs
31.
or anything. I was 25. Okay. The problem, and this
You
is
was
what
pushing him to. That's that Gemini.
I was pushing him to the limit, but I was a bartender at the time. I came home from work drunk. We was having sex. He came, flipped me over, keep going. Yes, daddy. Oh, yes, come again. Flip him over, get on top. I'm trying to ride life out of him, and he literally.
You rid the life out of him.
Exactly. He picked me up and threw me off of him and grabbed his chest, and it was a whole thing. And he went to I took him to the hospital, and yeah, but come to find out after all of this. When once the doctors was working on him in the hospital, come to find out he had a heart problem that he was not aware of.
Gotcha.
So unfortunately, especially men, people who don't have health insurance, or men that just feel like they don't have to go to the doctor unless their dick is burning, they don't get checkups regularly, they don't get the proper health care that they need, and this man was suffering from a heart condition that he had no idea, and of course I had no idea. So when I flipped him over and started riding his dick for him to come a third time, he had a heart attack.
Third
so that's
time,
how
she said.
The third time.
She said the third time.
So that's
too
how
much.
the heart attack happened.
3 nuts.
Yeah. May he rest in peace.
Yes, may he rest in peace. I would be in the same. Look, get off. We're done. I gotta go have a committee meeting with me and myself.
But yeah, I was bartending. I had stopped dancing, and I was bartending. And when I tried to break up with him, and he wasn't having it.
Of course, he almost lost his life with you.
Yeah, and then I ended up in Atlanta. I ended up in Atlanta the day of Hurricane Katrina, and I wasn't dancing. I didn't want to dance again. I wanted to continue bartending, but my friend at the time, who I went to Atlanta with, had already been working at Magic City since the All-Star Game was there, like a few years earlier than that, like 2002 or 3. And she would always tell me about how much money she made whenever she went to Atlanta, and she would always be like, "Girl, you should come." But I was 90 pounds in the A cup, and I was very intimidated by the thickums in the South, and I never took her up on her offer. And when I got to Magic City and she was working, and they started telling me about this amateur night contest, they literally had to talk me into it. And then they're like, she's like, you can. It don't matter if you think you can dance. Like, you do pole tricks. These girls ain't doing pole tricks. Yeah. So
and that's coming from Philly.
Yeah. So I got on that stage and I did the amateur night contest. I danced to Michael Jackson, "Wanna Be Starting Something," because I was not familiar with the down south music and the lean with it, rock with it, and I couldn't dance like those girls. So I did what I do naturally, and I wowed the entire room, and I won the contest.
But I want to know what got you to dancing. I
was a drug mule. I was homeless. So I had my daughter at the age of 17. When she was 5 months old, me and my mom got into an argument, and I beat her up. And
Did you beat your mother up?
Beat my mother with an ironing board. And I'm not proud of it, but it's the truth.
Are y'all good now? Is she alive?
May she rest in peace. My mom passed away 5 years ago to pancreatic cancer.
Sad.
Yeah. Period. Thank you. So 5 months, my daughter was 5 months, me and my mom had an argument. She had a glass of wine. She threw the wine in my face, baby in my arms. Baby starts crying. I'm in the bathroom trying to give the baby a bath to put her back to sleep, and we're still arguing. It turns physical. The ironing board is leaning up against the wall. I beat her with it. She put me out. I end up living in, my best friend at the time, she also passed away, was dating this drug dealer guy, and he had this apartment where they kept the guns and the drugs, and they made the drugs and they counted the money.
Trap house?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't the trap house where they sold the stuff. It was the hangout trap house where they manufactured the stuff.
Okay.
It was like the factory trap house.
Okay.
Where they hung out at.
The fact house.
The fact house, right. So
In Florida, they call it
we
the White
always
House.
we always spent time there with them. So when that night when I left my mother's house, I went over there because I didn't have anywhere else to go, and they were like, "You can stay here." So I stayed there.
What was going through your mind at that time? Like, what are you thinking at that time? You going into this house?
Survival.
Like,
I'm a mother. I'm a 18-year-old mother. I'm just trying to survive.
Did you didn't figure it out? You just
And
like
provide.
Oh,
Survive and provide.
Yeah.
So it was
and my
like-
daughter's father had gotten murdered. He was shot 18 times, so he wasn't around.
so at this time you're just trying to figure out step by step, not even day by day.
Yeah, step by step, minute by minute.
Yeah, that's true. It's more minute by minute, right?
So I lived
Go ahead,
in
I'm
this,
sorry.
I lived in this apartment. I slept with AR-15s under the bed. I learned how to. I counted a lot of money. I helped them with their books. I eventually learned how to chop and bag crack and weed and weigh and all of that. So they would have me sitting at the table. I'm a caregiver. I come from a very large family. My mother was like big mama of just not the family, but of the neighborhood. So there was always an open door, a warm place to sleep, and a hot meal in my house for anyone who needed it. So that's one of the things that I definitely took most from my mother than my 3 siblings. And I'm very much like my mother in that way. So when I'm in this house with my 2 best friends and all of these guys, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. There was even a point in time where I sucked a few dicks, and I was being taken care of very well. But you know,
And the guys were respectful to you.
yeah, one of them was my friend's boyfriend. I dated, well, I don't date, but I dealt with another one eventually, and then there might have been like a plug or an associate from the streets that came through once or twice that I slid off with. But
Wait, so one of them was your friend's
so
boyfriend?
my best friend who passed away, it was her boyfriend was like the main of this group of guys.
The head
he
honcho.
was like Nino Brown
Okay.
of the crew.
So did she know that?
Yeah.
She was cool with it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all that
We was 17 and 18. We was little.
Nah, listen.
And they were young too.
Listen, when I was 17, well, not really. I had a little girlfriend, but like 19, you know, we knew.
Yeah. So
But I'm sorry, but my question was like, was you messing around with the guys part of the survival, or it was
absolutely. For sure.
They expected
so
that
the
from you.
one guy that I had a thing with, you know, it was
They
a
provided
mutual
shelter.
like flirtation thing, and I fucked him a few times, and that was it. The plug or the street associate that came through and snatched me up here and there, it was definitely like. So one of the guys they told me not to deal with. Like, so these guys became my brothers.
Okay.
Right? The guys in the house became my brothers. So they told me not to deal with this one guy. He's no good. We do business with him. And if something happened between y'all and he disrespected you, we going to have to choose you over him. And that's going to fuck up business. So stay away from him.
Yep.
Did
Did I listen?
Nope.
Absolutely not. This was.
Why did you really like him? Why?
It's like the thrill of like when somebody tell you not to do something and you want to know why, so you do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get that, like, it's like when your mom tell you, like, don't eat the chocolate because it's going to make your stomach hurt because you ain't had no dinner. And you go and sneak and eat the chocolate. Like, I was eating the chocolate. And let me tell you, this guy was the first guy who, even though I didn't expect or ask or even know about, like, a exchange of money for services type of situation. The first time I went out with this guy, we went out to eat, we went to the movies, we ended up in some hotel, we fucked, he brought me back the next morning, and before I got the car, he passed me $500. And he's like, put this in your pocket. And then every time I seen him, he would give me money. So,
What did that feel like?
I had $500.
I feel so bad because like a lot of women.
I mean, somebody could associate that with love.
Well, it's literally a trick. That's why it's called tricking.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was
No, he
happening.
was young though. He was getting money.
He was like 23, but I didn't know that that's what this was. And prior to that, I had dealt with the man who, when I was 15, I dealt with the man who was like 23, and he did a lot of things for me too. Like, he was that guy that, you know how they say like all of the pretty girls in high school got the older drug dealer boys that come pick them up. Like, I had that whole thing happen.
At 15?
And at 15, yeah. And this guy was like really poured in. Like, we should not have been having sex, but he really poured into me a lot of what you get from me today. A lot of the confidence, a lot of the bad bitch energy, a lot of the I'm not dealing with a man that's not gonna make sure I'm straight energy, because he would like drill that, almost like pimp like, drill that into my head. 15, I dealt with him till I was 22. So 15, 16, 17, I'm dealing with him, and he's like, if you fucking a nigga and he know your phone bill need to be paid and don't pay it, don't fuck that nigga no more, because he should make sure you straight. Like that type of time.
There's a group of men telling you that the one man who I believe, I don't want to speak down on him, but we would call him Simpty, right? Telling you don't bite the bait, but you bit the bait. Now I'm curious to figure out what happened between you, him, and your brothers.
Well, this was an overlapping thing, but this was a situation that was already. Oh, you talking about the guy that gave me the $500?
Yeah. That was the one.
No, not the same guy.
Oh, so all right, my bad.
Yeah, so what I was trying to explain was, even though this guy was the first person to fuck me and then give me money, right? Without me saying
that
I
opened
needed
your
it.
mind that you can do it.
I had already dealt with a guy that was telling me that there are guys out here like this, and make sure that you never settle for a nigga that's not gonna fuck with you.
So there was one out here saying that and one out here proving it.
In real life, exactly.
Gotcha.
And when it happened in real life, I'm like, damn, this what this nigga was talking about. But the guy that I was dealing with when I was really young, he did a lot for me as well. Like, it was almost manipulative in a way, but like he took me shopping one day and bought me all of this shit and held it, and then when I went to his apartment, he had it like all on display on the dresser.
It's a sick game out here. It's sick. I don't like it.
Yeah. But again, I feel like, and it's really, you know, I don't know, weird or, you know, maybe unconventional, but I feel like this man helped mold me into the woman that I am, and I am proud of it.
I don't believe in, me personally, I don't believe anyone should really regret life.
Oh,
right?
I don't regret anything.
Yeah, that's so on the opposite end of the spectrum. I believe that everybody should embrace their downfalls and embrace their lessons and embrace their highest points in their life, right? So you should always kind of, in my opinion, you should always be proud of yourself, no matter where you're at, you know? But like, so right now, like I got this thing with my girl where I be like, my new thing that I'm trying to drill into her head is like, what's the most efficient way of doing whatever this is? Right, so whether it be a business, whether it be, you know, finding a schedule for taking the kids and picking the kids up from school, whatever is the most efficient way, let's push that, and then let's try to see if there's a more efficient way. And if not, you know, if it's not, it's not. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to get to is, do you think that without this whole journey of dealing with drugs, being in the streets, you know what I'm saying, doing all of that, do you think that you could be at the same height that you are right now in another way?
No, it would be totally different.
Yeah,
I understand that, because I do believe that it's unfair to think everybody has the same path.
Nobody has the same path. I wasn't supposed to end up on stage at a strip club. I was supposed to end up on stage at the Grammys, background dancing for Madonna. That was my life path. I was a ballet dancer. I was technically trained in dance. My high school was like fame. That's why I became so good at strip, because I was already a dancer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I went to private school and tennis lessons, and I was my mother's golden child, because my father, who was married when he had me and my sister 16 days later by another woman, his family was rich. His father became a millionaire in 1962, self-made, and he came from this family, and my mother wanted, you know, I don't know if she wanted to end, but whatever the case, I was her golden child. You know, I was put on a pedestal. I was smart and talented, and you know, I was her ticket into this family that she was able to kind of live a better life with. You know, like my grandmother owned a house in the shore that we spent every summer at, and my grandfather had an in-ground pool, and you know, the Christmas tree would be 14 feet because the ceilings was that high. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was selling weed out the back door and being a nurse, CNA, not a CNA. She was a home health care aide. on the side. She sold weed out the back door, and you know, she collected food stamps for her 4 kids and 13 grandchildren, however many it is. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, this was her life, but this is what this man had over here, and I was the key to unlock her into this lifestyle.
Which you ended up having, or you still have, at the end of the day. It's definitely a rougher patch, but
Yeah.
It's just gotta be realistic with the world though, because it's like, like.
She earns the top 5% income in the U.S. as right.
No. That's not the thing. See, that's dope. See, I'm all for trials, tribulations, and then your outcome is your story. It's a beautiful thing, right?
I'm for that too.
But like, you know, it's like there's many guys, like going on the flip end on the guy side, who are in the streets, right? And they get money. You know what I'm saying? But some of them, not even some of them, 1% of them, just like 1% of her, make it out and transform the business. 99% of them die or they go to jail.
Oh, I did 90 days on Rikers Island too.
See?
When I was 22 years old.
And the thing is, like, my biggest thing is that we have to also understand, because like, she's a legend.
She's the exception.
She's an exception to the rule, and people need to understand. Like, it's dope to look up to people like herself who have a similar story and journey, but they need to understand that the odds are usually not in your favor.
No. I'm
know what I
very
mean?
lucky. I feel like I cheated death a few times. I feel like I've been dealt with some hard cards, but I somehow always seem to win. Going back to how I ended up Magic City and that whole thing. So after leaving this apartment, I left this apartment because I felt like, okay, sooner or later something gonna happen here and I gotta remove myself and my child. So I worked on getting my own place, and literally within a month of me moving out, that place and like 3 other places that they had got raided. And there was some jail time amongst the guys. There was some lives lost throughout that time. My best friend, who was the girlfriend of one of the main guys, she ended up passing away in a car accident where me and my daughter were supposed to be in that car. So I feel like that was the first time I cheated death.
Yeah.
That really changed me. I didn't stay in the house too much longer after she passed away. I went to, my daughter's father's family. I ended up losing my apartment, and I went to live in the apartment where he got killed in. And I met another young man from that shady area of North Philadelphia who eventually tried to take my life when I tried to break up with him. I went to my mother's house at 3 a.m. with my daughter, my purse, the clothes on my back, and a diaper bag. And my mother told me that I could stay with her for 48 hours, but then I would have to figure out where I was going. She could have been planning my funeral in 48 hours. This man woke me up with a knife to my throat. He could have decapitated me and my child. You could be planning both of our funerals. And she told me that I had to get out of her house, and like I only had 48 hours to figure it out, right? I didn't even stay 48 minutes. I went and moved. My god sister had just bought a house, and I went and I moved into her unfinished, moldy, damp basement, and I didn't have anything. I'm starting from scratch. I have no car, I have no clothes, I have a 2-year-old with no father, and I'm in survival mode. So I get a phone call from a friend of hers who she had given my number to, and it's this guy named Mikey, and he's like, I can get you some money. You take a trip to Jamaica. I went to Jamaica, I swallowed 90 grams of heroin. And on my way to the airport, they're like, we'll give you another $3,000 if you take this suitcase. So I'm like, okay, what's with the suitcase? They like, it's weed, but they'll never find it. They found the weed.
Of course they would.
So I got arrested for the weed in JFK Airport. But 12 and a half pounds of weed in JFK Airport in January of 2000 was like 12 grams of weed today. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it wasn't like the end of the world.
I got a slap on the wrist for that.
Yeah.
I was 19. I was a first-time offender. You know, I got 5 years probation, and I had to pay like $1,500 restitution. Yeah. I ended up in jail. Right. Oh, I gave them the heroin. I shitted it out. One of the... No, I did. I shitted it out. That's a whole nother story. But
I was worried, like, yo, so what happened to the heroin?
So I went through intake and processing. They took me from the airport holding to Rikers Island, intake, processing, and I made the phone call. So the phone call was, do I call my brothers and tell them that I'm holding 90 grams of heroin and to come get me from jail? Or do I call Mikey and give him back his shit? Who y'all think I called?
Mikey. Mm-hmm. I fucking knew it. Why didn't you call your brothers?
Because Mikey knew where my sister lived, and Mikey could have possibly come back and hurt my family over this 90 grams of heroin.
True.
So and they were right.
True.
And they were mad that I didn't call them, but I'm like I couldn't call y'all.
Wait, where was your daughter?
That's a funny story. So again, I was a dancer, right? I was a dancer. Like I was like a real like hip hop. I was in a hip hop group that we did like talent shows and hair shows and shit. Like all of the fire ass hair salons would hire us to do their hair shows and that whole thing. Like, you know, really choreographed dancer. So I have a cousin who owns a barbershop in Philly, and he was like my second dad. Like we were like really, really tight. And I was always a shampoo girl at his barbershop. Whenever I felt like I wanted a job, I would go to the barbershop and wash hair. And he was really close with my daughter. So he kept my daughter for the 2 weeks that was in Jamaica. But I told him that I was going to Jamaica because I was a background dancer for Eve and that she was touring in Jamaica, and that was why I was going to Jamaica.
You was lying.
I lied. I couldn't tell him I was going to swallow drugs.
I mean, she's on survivor mode.
I'm not mad at it.
And part of
I was that 2-year-old.
part of
Like, I get it. I was the one watching it. Like, what the fuck going on around here?
I ended up getting restitution. I violated my probation a couple years later, and when I went to court, the judge remanded me to Rikers Island for 90 days. So that's why I did 90 days at.
Probation violation.
Yeah.
Okay.
BOP.
Yeah. I moved.
want that
I moved.
No, I don't.
Then didn't tell him, and I moved from Philadelphia to Montgomery County, and didn't tell the courts or whatever. I didn't know I had to, and somehow they found out, and I got a letter in the mail saying that I had a court date. So I show up to court with cousin Jay, thinking I was doing, say I'm sorry, and no, the judge was like, remand. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, man, put your hands behind your back.
Yep.
So
It's time to go.
I went and I spent 90 days on Rikers Island. Now, at that time, I was dancing. And I was dancing at a club in Philadelphia, again, one of those Spearmint Rhino clubs, right? And I was...
we had a moment where we understood.
Yeah, what
she's
kind of
just
club?
bringing it back.
Yeah. So I was dancing at this club at the time, and I was a sugar baby. I was having multiple relationships with older married men for money. I was probably fucking one of my homegirls' baby daddies. I was a bully. There's a very popular girl who I will name off camera who I bullied the fuck out of in the strip club. And I regret it today, but I was a mean girl. I was a bitch. I had got fired from the first club I danced at because I had a glass like this in my hand and I punched a girl in the face, and the this part broke, and you see the scar right here, 10 stitches in my hand. Who knows how many was in her face. And I was fired, but then I became like a strip club legend. I became like the crazy black girl. So
They say
I ran
Geminis
with
are
that.
crazy.
Yeah. So I ran with like the crazy black girl thing. I took that to the new club, and I ran with like, I'm a fucking crazy ass black bitch, so don't fuck with me, you stupid ass white bitch, because I will fuck you up. Okay. So, and that was
It
bad.
worked.
It was terrible. It worked, but it was I was a bad person. At the same
You
time.
are a hurt
Very
person.
bad
At
circumstance.
Yeah,
the
you
same
are a hurt
time,
person.
I'm popping X pills every night to work. I'm drinking apple martinis and kamikaze shots. That's like 6 ounces of vodka at a time. I'm 90 pounds. And I'm drinking and drugging and eating McDonald's and just not taking care of myself at all. And I had I have a trait for polycystic kidney disorder. So I kept ending up in the hospital. I was sick. My bills wasn't getting paid. I was spending my money on Versace, and I was just being hella reckless. So I feel like I needed to do that 90 days so that I could take a time out and step back and realize that all of my problems stemmed from my actions, and that I did not need to be a mean bitch, and that I did not need to be fucking on these married men for money, and I did not need to be doing a lot of these just very reckless things that I was doing at the time. I was 22 years old. I came out of jail a whole new person. And since then, my life has been nothing but blessed. I came out of jail realizing that you have to be a good person because, not for the reward, but just because it's the right thing to do. And I've lived my life, I'm 43 right now. I lived my life like that ever since, and I've been nothing but blessed. So again, like I said earlier, everything happens for a reason. It's like at the time I'm in jail, like, fuck, I'm in jail.
That was your last warning. Just letting you know.
I feel that way too.
That was your
like,
last one.
Yeah, I feel like after that, things might have gotten out of control for me.
Well, you were basically in the middle of it all, the worst of the worst, ups and downs and everything else, right? Mm-hmm. What would possibly make you feel or even think there was something better
To continue going.
And saying I could do, because you come across like a very positive person.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it's
I
just,
wasn't always.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this is the result.
Yes.
But she said that
I was not this way. I was a mean girl. I was a bitch. I took that bully status and I ran with it. I was not a nice person. I was not.
So what changed you, the 90 days?
Yes. So if it wasn't for my boyfriend at
was
the
the
time,
reflection in 90 days.
if it wasn't for my boyfriend at the time, I would have lost my home. My boyfriend at the time paid my bills and took care of my child. I had a cousin that lived with me at the time, and they made sure that my house stayed intact, my bills was paid, and my child was taken care of. And my ex-best friend at the time, the Korean girl, she was a part of that as well. Who knows if she was fucking him too? I don't know. But he brought her to come see me in jail. He made sure my bills was paid. He kept up with the visits, and in Rikers you could wear like real clothes. So he made sure I was fresh in the dip. He made sure I had money
You
in
was
my
risking it all
commissary.
in jail.
But if it wasn't for him, I would have lost everything that I had previously worked for after getting my own place. I would have lost it all because I had no money saved. Let me tell you, I would make $700 on a Friday night. And Saturday morning, I would get up and go to the mall and spend $600 of those dollars just because I could.
Yeah.
And I would
It's
keep
because you knew it was
$100
coming back.
so that I can pay to work the next day.
Yep.
And I did this
To
for
get
the
it back.
first maybe 2 years of me dancing. When I went to jail and realized that I had nothing,
That's a horrible feeling.
I'm like, okay, I can't do this when I get out, because if it wasn't for this man, I have nothing. I would not be able to do anything. Oh, sorry. If it wasn't for this man, I have nothing. I wouldn't be able to do anything that I'm doing. How would I survive?
And he's your boyfriend at this time.
At the time.
Not your sugar.
No, he was
daddy.
my boyfriend at the time.
And you loved him?
Yes.
Okay.
You loved him, or did you love what he could do and would do for you?
No, I loved him. I loved him because he was a dope boy in the street driving a Crown Vic. Like, he wasn't like no rich nigga. He wasn't out here. Yeah.
Just like making his moves here and there.
Yeah, he was selling weed and crack.
So did you?
No kingpin or nothing like that.
But okay, so you're trying to say, well, not trying to say, what I'm understanding, right, is that you love the fact that he would go above and beyond for you, no matter his amount of resources, rather than giving you disposable resources.
I've always had, and I don't know. So we know every girl in the world swears she got good pussy. Every girl in the world swears she's the best dick sucker, unless you know you don't suck dick, and then you like, bitch, my dick suck is trash because I don't suck dick. But every girl in the world is not going to say that they have mediocre vagina or that they have just.
And why don't they?
I don't know. Y'all do the same thing. One man is going to say my dick is mediocre, my dick is average, right? But I know, and people are like, how do you know? For one, a man died. But for two, I know that I have good sex. I've always been wifed. Men meet me and they wife me immediately. They love that I'm a nigga. Like, I'm cool
about to
as
say, you
fuck.
just cool.
They love that I get money. I'm a go-getter. They love that I cook, I clean. I like to have sex. I'm very sexual. I fuck bitches. I suck dick from the back.
And
like,
you also and you let the man also bring in.
Yes, I have threesomes. I invite my friends into the bedroom. I do all of these things that men want. So I was never, my friends used to call me the serial wife. Like, I was never single. Even when I wasn't single, I wasn't single because there was a nigga that thought I was his bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been in a relationship. I've always had a man that's willing to risk it all for me. I don't know what life is like without that.
Let me respond to that. But before I do that, I definitely got to shout out to one of our viewers, Unique Brooks. Shout out to Unique Brooks. I mean, she's one of our, like, we have a lot of consistent viewers and contributors, right? But she's definitely one of my top 5 favorites. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else, please like, subscribe. Go ahead, and if you haven't, join our Patreon. Hey, Datebox is now lit and available. Go ahead and get your monthly subscription with Datebox so you get some more date ideas.
Put a Datebox right behind you, right there.
I got you.
Is that?
All right, sorry, Ace.
Put it on the table.
You know what? We'll go do that. Come on, see? This is why she's a serial wife. Because she come with the ideas.
So I'm very attentive. I'm very submissive.
Can I just ask you a question, right? My fault. I don't mean to cut you off.
Sure.
Good word.
I'm dating one of these Geminis. You know what I'm saying? So
you know the flip side.
Yeah, I do, right? But listen, I match crazy, okay? But my question is, do you do these things, or maybe so now, right? But let's go back to entirety, right? From the beginning. Mm-hmm. Did you do these things with these men because it's like, I want to please this man, or this is to please me? Or
I'm a pleaser, for one, not just in the bedroom. I am let me make everybody around me happy. Let me make everybody around me comfortable. Again, this is what I get from my mother being a caretaker. My mother was like that. My mother was the woman that handled everything for everybody. She shared her resources. She put you on to whatever. She was always trying to help, and I get that a lot from my mom. So it's fine. So I besides me being a pleaser, trying to help in any way that I can, I just like to do. I don't know, it's weird. Like, a lot of girls say, oh, he gotta earn that. Like, no, listen, I'm the girl that I'm gonna invite you to my house for dinner on a first date versus trying to get you to take me to Ruth Chris. I don't want Ruth Chris. I wanna cook. Let me tell you.
I
went viral I went viral on The Breakfast Club. I was doing a promo run for Beyond the Pole on WeTV. I was in season 2 of that. And I did a interview on The Breakfast Club promoting the show. And there's a story that Angela knows oh so well because we talk about it on Lipservice a lot, but Charlamagne and Envy had never heard the story. The story is that my very ultimately worst date in the history of dates was I met a guy, he flew me out. He flew me out to somewhere, I think Dayton, Ohio, and
Really?
It was Valentine's Day. And he kept ranting and raving about how he was going to take me to his favorite restaurant, and he took me to Applebee's.
What?
And now, mind you, this was in like 2002.
I've
right?
been to Dayton. There's not much there in Dayton, I'll be honest.
2002. But here's the thing.
Applebee's?
They tried to...
That's all that there is in Dayton, is Applebee's.
but how was that your favorite restaurant? Anyway, so...
That's all he knows.
Clearly. Okay. So, we talk about this a lot. I tell the story on Lipservice a lot. If it comes up, I always have the same answers because all my shit is real. And we talk about it on Lipservice. So Angela brought it up to Charlamagne and Envy. And it went viral, and the people was dragging me in the comments because they were like, oh, bitch, you was raised on McDonald's. Don't act that you too good for Applebee's. And here's the thing. It's not that I'm too good. I worked at TGI Fridays when I was 17, 19 years old. I worked in the hospitality field for the entire time that I had any type of real job. I know your food. I know the quality of this food. I look like this because I take care of my body, and part of taking care of your body is paying attention to what you put inside of your body. I drink water, right? I eat fruits and vegetables, and I take CMOS shots before anybody even knew that was a thing. Like, I take care of myself. So I'm not an Applebee's, Fridays, Chili's. I'm not that girl.
Wait, Gigi, I want to say something. Hold on. What's wrong with your palate's upgrading?
Nothing.
Like, if you were eating McDonald's and
I'm not
Burger
gonna
King,
lie.
and then you start eating really good, your palate's changed.
Nothing, but the people were so mad at me because they felt like into
Mickey
each his
D's.
own. I'm not saying that you can't eat McDonald's.
I even eat. Listen, every so often I'll go ahead and give me a Jack Daniel's chicken, cause that sauce is popping.
Fridays.
Yeah, that sauce is popping.
So I'm just not a chain restaurant consumer, right?
Okay.
In this day and even back then, 2020 years ago, I was not into chain restaurants. It's just not how I was, raised. It's not. I would have rather, and this is what the people missed, I would have rather him taking me to the grocery store and we bought some dinner, and I would have rather cooked him a meal with love, even though I just met this man, would have been the number one ingredient. That would have been a better date for me.
With that being said, date box, okay? We do have a bunch of different things every single month, and sometimes you might get a meal or an ingredient to cook with each other as a date. All right.
Yeah. So I would have rather.
Big shout out to Date Box.
Big shout out to Date Box. He should have had a date box, and then maybe he could have got this box. Instead, I got on the flight the next day, and I never spoke to him again.
Yeah, have you ever been back to Dayton?
Hell no.
All right, so look, I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you 100%. Yo, listen, I said that we had a question a couple weeks ago or a couple shows ago, and the question was, how could you spend $40 on a first date?
Easy. The grocery store. Flowers included.
I know, but
Flowers, wine, meal. $40, Publix.
What did I say? Everybody ate at the table.
Oh, I'm sorry, we up north. ShopRite.
But
Or Stop
For
and
those
Shop.
of y'all who don't know,
under the
what Publix
conditions,
is.
under the conditions, if it's a first date and you don't want the person to come to your house,
Yes.
I would say a picnic.
A picnic.
A picnic is fair.
Absolutely.
You cook for the picnic.
But see, now
you
in
bring
this,
the basket.
in
You
this,
bring everything in the
this
basket.
instance,
Somebody
this
said
man
Lunchables.
flew me out.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's all
So
good.
we were staying at his house.
Yeah. So that's all.
So let's go grocery shopping. I'm gonna cook for you.
Wait, hold on. So you could pay for a flight, but then you go to Applebee's?
It's just what he knows.
I'm just saying they don't add up.
it's just what-
It doesn't add up.
But if that's all that the options was, listen, he could have took me to Miss Rosie's Diner and I would have had a better time. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could have took me
It was
to a
just too
regular
general.
mom and pop restaurant that's something, specific to that area. A nice, family-owned restaurant where the people grew up there, the grandmom taught them the recipes. I would have had a very good time. I would have got to know him. But Applebee's, and it was the way he kept, my favorite restaurant, you gonna love it. Ooh, I can't wait. It was so good.
It was Applebee's.
And it was Applebee's.
You know, I want to say something. I always
There's
find
an Applebee's
interesting in
everywhere.
today's time, right? This is what I find interesting.
And this was 20 years ago. 21 years ago. 21 years ago.
He said 02.
It was 20 years ago.
So here's what I find interesting. I hear stories, right? And women be like, this dude is so corny. This dude is so... Like, it just happens. And I'm like, damn, where y'all get these guys from? Because I don't know, but I know they exist, right?
do.
And,
But everybody has a different type of definition for what they consider corny.
Okay.
So
Did you
I
think he
kinda-
was corny?
What do you consider corny?
I kind of like a different kind of corny. Like, I like the regular, schmegular, degular corny.
Break that down.
So I like... I don't know if it's because of what I've been exposed to in this industry,
Young.
and especially at a young age.
For a long
Heard it
period of
all.
time.
You heard all the games.
I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I've done it all. It's not a couch I ain't stood on. It's not a celebrity I ain't partied with. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not much to impress me. So when guys see me and they like, oh, she's this, she's that, she does this, she goes here, I've seen her on the red carpet this place and the Grammys that place, they feel like they have to come with a certain state of impression for me, and I find that corny. I would rather the other corny. I would rather the keep it 100, show me the real you. Don't try to impress me because you think you have to. Like, I would rather a regular schmegular take me to a fucking
Applebee's?
museum. No, take me on a date in the park, picnic. Take me roller skating. Like, give me a new experience that I've never had before. Take me to make motherfucking a clay pot like on Ghost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, show me some different shit that I never seen before.
that part
And
of
it
Ghost is
doesn't
real.
have to be a first class flight and a trip to the Bahamas. But that's what guys see me and they think that that's what they got to do to get me, and I find that corny in a negative way.
Okay.
I think it's corny too. I've been saying that's been corny since
Like,
the beginning.
I know that I always say lead with the bag because I got my own bag. But don't lead with the bag because you think
To
that
impress you.
Yeah, don't
like-
do it with the wrong intentions.
So if
Lead with the bag because that's what you normally do.
Lead with the bag because,
That's who you are.
by lead with the bag, she's not saying, well, maybe I'm not going to say what you're saying, right? But by lead with the bag, maybe the ideology is don't use your money, but be of value. See, there's a big difference. When you got money, you walk like you got money, you act like you got money, you have the mannerisms and the etiquettes. But when you use your money
Listen,
to feel like you deserve to be with somebody
when
who
you
has
use your money to express your value.
you a herb.
yeah.
That's what I'm getting
get
from.
what
When
I'm
you
saying?
using your money to express your value.
I would never.
But
Like
okay.
when it comes natural, it comes natural.
But what if
Don't
you
force it.
Yeah.
like what if you like, let's say buy I don't know, a Phantom or a Bentley, right? You just like, I like this car. Are you expressing your value? Or are you saying nah, this ain't a car for me. It's just something that I like.
When you buy a Phantom or you buy any type of car of value, and the first thing in your mind is, I'm gonna get mad girls. That's not you.
Again, it's your intention.
You have no value.
It's your intention.
You have
The
to showcase
intention behind the actions that draws the line of if it's valid or not.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
If I
So
buy
that
it 'cause
car's
I
not
never.
creating value for you. So you don't feel like
No, it's creating a facade of value for you.
To
Yeah,
the
'cause-
people, not to you.
Yeah, to the
On
people,
outside
but not to
looking
you.
in.
Yeah,
But
on
if
the
it's-
outside looking
but
in.
if you became successful enough to be able to afford a supercar, then at the end of the day, you're rewarding yourself
Yeah.
for your
Yep.
success, for your hard work. That's how I look at it.
Which is,
I
yeah.
got $5,000 glasses on my face. They're prescription. But I rewarded myself from my hard work. I wanted these glasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have easily went to Lens Crafters and got some no-name brand frames, and I can see out of them
I'm
just
on my
as
way to
well as
Lens
these.
Crafters pretty soon. 'cause
But,
my eyes ain't
I
working.
chose the
fighting
heart
it.
frame Cartiers with the diamond cuts because I felt like I earned these. And I'm
did.
just using that as an excuse because it's on my
Nice
face.
glasses, yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's
But you didn't buy. See, and that's the thing. So like men and women, right? Because there's some women that try to buy men as well as men try to buy
oh, and
women.
they not 5,000. I was exaggerating. They was more like 2,500. But
See, I like her. She's honest.
Yeah.
So
you know, people were like, "Bitch, I got them glasses. You can't, bitch." So yeah, shout out to Saleh Opticians and Phipps Plaza. I'm finna come see y'all. I got another frames I'm trying to work on. So
Oh my
shout out to my
God.
people over there. They take care of me every time. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And I think that I think like that's the, as funny as the sound and as simple as the sound, I think that's the hardest reason why people can't find the person they want. People have a really hard time just being real.
Be cool how you be cool.
Yes.
That's all you gotta do. Stay in your lane and do your thing.
You know what the thing is? People are so pent up on the expectation of society, the expectation of, you know, what they think the people want. And what they think that they should be giving the people instead of doing what they want to do or act the way they want to act and feel natural, just doing them. People always put they show up with their representative. You know, they put that face on because they feel like this is what the people expect.
Life, your big shout out to Fatty. Life is a magnet, right? Period. You get what you attract. And maybe people are going through life attracting all the things they don't want, so they chasing what they do want, but what they do want ain't chasing them, so your life becomes a whole fucking... You ever see somebody just coast through life, everything comes to them, and they don't even chase it?
That sound like me. That's how I got here.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Over there.
And
He's
it-
behind the scene, guys. So that's not the whole thing.
And it's like when you chasing something, I remember Nas said this line, which I thought was like one of the dopest lines ever. He said, "I got no game. It's just understand my story."
We came up with this hypothesis or ideology or theory that a lot of people think that they have opinions and perceptions and they don't. It's all regurgitated from what they've been force-fed.
No original thought, you saying?
They don't even possess it, so they think that they feel this way is them, but it really the way that they feel is whoever they look up to.
Yep.
Oh.
And so now they're chasing whoever they look up to is chasing. They don't even know who they are. They don't know their own opinions. They don't know what they truly want because they just want what whoever is being, you know, the hierarchy of whatever they love.
So they don't know what they're attracting.
Yeah, they're attracting something that they are being told to attract.
I feel like social media has a lot to do with that too.
Yeah, or entertainment. You know, we blame
Marketing,
social
yeah.
media, but it's definitely entertainment, right? Because
Marketing.
before it was television.
Yeah.
You know, now we got social
Social media
media.
is the new TV.
Yeah, but you know I'm not gonna lie, right?
Internet is the new TV.
It is. Like when the Phantoms, I want to talk about Phantoms because I always talk about Phantoms, right? Because I want a black two-door Phantom,
My
right?
boyfriend has a Phantom and he takes road trips in it.
Right? So
I would never take a road trip in a Phantom, but it's a regular car to him.
It's
We
a car,
drove
but it's a
6 hours
nice
to
car.
Alabama,
See?
and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna take the Phantom," and I'm like,
See, that's
The
not.
two-door joint, the Ghost,
"No, it's the big one."
the four-door joint.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the two-door
Yeah.
one. I like the two-door one. See, I don't the four-door
That's not
one
leading with your money.
Huh?
Because that's not leading with your money.
That's normal to him.
Because if you was leading
He
with your
goes
money,
to
you would
Starbucks
not do
every
that.
morning in a Rolls
No, he's just in a
Royce,
position to
whether
do
it's
it.
the
Yeah.
Cullinan or the Phantom or the drop top Bentley, like this is every day for him. Now he does have a Suburban, and you know the parents drive a Jeep, and the son has a Camry, so he might jump in one of those when he feels like he wants to. But it's every day he's Starbucks drive-through in a Rolls Royce,
I know
so that's regular for him.
a lot about the culture, and that's how they are.
Yeah.
That's how they are. They're dope though.
Big shout out to Unique. She says she loves the Phantom.
Yeah.
The Phantom too. We got matching tattoos in the Phantom.
What, the twos?
Yeah, he got 4s and I got 2s, but we did it in the back of the Phantom.
I need to step my game up.
That was my birthday gift. My birthday gift to him. The first year that he had it. Last
So
year.
so you did tell us that you. Do you mind if I tell what I'm saying about your tattoos?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
Listen, I'm open book.
I know. I
wouldn't talk about it if I.
We're heavy on consent here.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you. Thanks, appreciate it. You guys caught that, right? So, like, all right, you did say that how you had your ex's name tattooed on you 3 times.
3 different times.
And now you have your new boyfriend's name tattooed on you. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that's like your sign of loyalty, or
No.
It's just something you just like to do?
I got a bunch of tattoos. All of my tattoos mean something. It's not giving Macarena. I can explain every single one of them, even the snake. The ex, I got his name here at first, when we first became an official couple. And then I was, he's from here, New York City. Well, New York. And I decided one day, like, the I Heart NYC, that's on the T-shirts and shit, the bumper stickers, the I Heart NYC. So his nickname is 3 initials. So I'm like, I should get I Heart
The 3
ABC,
initials.
right?
Okay.
So I got that like over here on the rib. And this is already after I had this one. I was like, oh, I should have got this. So I got it anyway. So at this time, I have 2 tattoos with this man's name on it.
Happily in love.
Yeah, happily in love. And this was within our first 2 years of being together.
Go.
So then, I'm in the middle of getting my sleeve. So I'm adding on to the arm. I worked on the sleeve for a really long time. And I told him, like, oh, I'm getting another tattoo. So he's like, you should get another one for me. So I'm like, okay. So on the back of my neck, I had, we're both Geminis. So on the back of the neck, I had I had Gigi and his initials. And it was a Gemini symbol that went from pink to blue, like, for me and him as our Gemini union. And the first time, so now I have 3 tattoos with this man's name on it. So the first breakup, I got this one covered. The second breakup, I got this one covered.
Not a goat.
And then I got this one covered. Before the 3rd breakup, I got this one covered.
Oh, you knew you were breaking up.
We broke up 3 times. I'm talking about before the nail in the coffin breakup.
The final one.
But yeah. The breakup.
You know you're breaking up with somebody.
I feel like women know ahead of time. I feel like we leave the relationship mentally before we leave the relationship.
I've heard that. My dad said that. A woman always leaves
We're already on to the next before we physically walk away from the relationship.
I felt it one time.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what are you doing?
So our first 2 breakups. Our first 2 breakups was because I caught him cheating, and it wasn't the cheating, it was the disrespect that came along with the cheating.
Yeah.
The last breakup was because it was his insecurities, and
He thought you were cheating?
I don't know what he thought, but I guess I went on a business trip to Houston for a weekend, and I stayed an extra day. And when I came back from Houston, he had changed the garage code on me, so I was locked out of the house.
He's a Gemini.
Yeah, he's very emotional. So we broke up.
Most of us are emotional.
And we lived.
I'm not gonna lie. If you stood an extra day, I might spaz too.
So when I went
I
back,
might have been mad.
so when I went back into the house, I moved into a guest room, and we lived in the house for 2 months before I moved out, but as officially broken up. So he was doing
y'all talk in
and
those
I
2
was
months?
No. We didn't have anything to talk about until we decided
do
my
that.
move out date and my severance package.
Yeah, what?
Severance package.
What's a severance package?
Every time I moved
CEOs.
out, he gave me money to start my life over.
So you,
That's
you got 3
normal.
packages.
Yes, I did.
She probably like, we're breaking up right now.
I
Yo,
did.
what?
And the 3rd package came with a car.
Shit.
Because he had just paid off my car. I owed like $30,000 on my car loan, and I got the car during one of our breakups. And when I went back to him, I'm paying this car note, and then now we're back together. He's like, "Fuck that car note. I'm gonna just pay off the car." And he paid off the car. It was like $30,000 that he gave me the check, and I went and paid the car. So now I have the title. The car is mine. And a couple of months after that, we broke up, and then he gave me another check, to start my life over, severance check, and I already had the car. So
How much were these severance checks, if you don't mind me
More than
asking?
6 figures, I'm sure.
No.
Not more six figures?
No, I wish.
Not more than 100?
No. Not
I
even
was
that
thinking
much.
like 150.
You need that much
Was
to
it like
start over?
was it like
No,
50?
I'm
No.
Was it
thinking.
75?
I mean,
No,
he
it
cut a
wasn't
check
even
for
that much.
30,000
It was
like it's nothing.
1.6 million.
No, it wasn't.
It was like 50.
It wasn't that. It wasn't even that much.
Oh, is it $10,000?
It was more than that.
Okay, 25.
Quarter.
Oh, I'm not mad at that.
Around 25. 25 is a good start.
So you
this is-
so you got
so this is
75,000 out of fake breakups.
Well, I guess if you put it like that. But this was move, and this was like, so, okay.
Security deposit for your new place,
All of
$7
that.
grand.
But let's go back to,
That's very reasonable.
let's go back to, I don't know if we talked about this on camera. I know we talked about it off camera. I decided to stop dancing for this man. And this was in my prom. I was the Beyonce of Magic City. I was making stupid money, and I was that girl in the club, and he couldn't take it because of his profession and how he was raised and his upbringing, and it just came to a point where he's like, he's an executive in a major record label. He's like a president, and he's like, any given Monday, any of my little rapper artists can come see my girl on stage.
God
Booty
damn.
holes
Oh,
and
no.
elbows.
Nope.
I'm a shoe model.
And for
I
the-
don't want my bitch to be a shoe model. These niggas is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I used to
Magic
have this,
City, they
this
dance
trick that I
nude.
did with the water. He couldn't take it. I used to deep throw the water bottle and let it come all over my face.
Imagine your employee seeing your wife.
Girl.
Like,
And you're the president of a major label, so he couldn't take it.
they
So
definitely wouldn't have
I
respect.
stopped. I stopped dancing because it was, out of respect for my relationship, and I completely cut my hustle that I was.
So I
was
get it, yeah.
lucrative. So it's like I stopped my life for you. So now when it's time for me to restart, I'ma need.
I'm going to say this. I'm
I'm
going
not
to
gonna
say
lie.
cables.
I'm not gonna lie. That's
your jumper
that's
cable.
fair, especially because y'all dated for so long.
So long, yeah.
Nah, not even if they dated for so
That's
long.
fair.
Rico's not going to agree with me on this.
No, I'm not.
This
I
one
already
he's
know
not
where
going
you're
to agree with
I was
me.
trying to avoid this part.
I
That's
believe
why-
this wholeheartedly. Women, if you're in a good position and a man is telling you to stop doing what you're doing, negotiate a good deal for
And
yourself.
that was where I fucked up.
Nah, I'm with that. I'm
That
with
was where I
that.
fucked up.
good
You know where I
deal
fucked
for
up? I
yourself.
fucked up by not negotiating. My brother tells me this all the time. I fucked up by not negotiating a good deal.
Look.
And I was blindsided because the day after I quit, I got a platinum Amex in the mail. So he put me on his account as an authorized user, and initially it had no limit. So I had a unlimited platinum Amex. So what?
You coulda did what you
negotiate
wanted.
What deal? I
Yeah,
was
but
good.
Here's what I
But
say,
that was
Gigi.
an illusion.
Here's
That
what
was
I
smoke
say.
and mirrors.
It's the smoke and mirrors. Here's what I say to
You
women.
could have found a way to get money out of it.
The first negotiation I tell
later.
is that if you gotta tell the dude, I'm talking about dudes that are doing, getting money, doing really well.
Real money.
The first negotiation, get you a 2 or 3 family. Get an investment property. No matter what happens,
Residuals.
you are straight for the rest of your life.
I didn't do anything.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I
negotiate
moved,
a deal.
I moved to New York and
I just
we
saw
got
this.
a dog.
I just saw this
You
3
said,
family.
she said we moved to New York and we got a dog.
It happens, but I'm just saying, it's like, I just saw this 3 family in Jersey City for like $450. And he's like, here's a check. That's yours.
Now hear me out here. I spoke earlier that I don't have regrets and everything.
No, because you're
right?
doing well for yourself.
However, there are some things that I wish I would have made better choices.
Did
in
differently.
life, and did differently, and that leaving my height of my dance career for this man.
You wouldn't have done it again.
No, and especially without a plan, I would not have done it that way. But again, I learned the lesson. You know what happens now? I will never give a man full control of my life and my finances. I will never, ever
if you negotiate
give a
it.
man. No, I won't. Not even with a negotiation.
So
You know
I'll
why?
negotiate with
because
you.
the moment that he felt like I was out of hand or out of control,
He can cut you off.
No. but
whenever he
no.
was mad at me, he would call
No.
Amex and put my shit on zero.
No, but what I'm saying about negotiating is
He
this.
held
play.
that money
Let's-
over my head.
Let's say you were the guy, right? And then he says, "Oh, I want you to stop doing. I don't want you to ever do another podcast in your life. I don't want you to do anything." And you say, "Okay, baby. If we break up, you got to put $1 million in escrow. If we have a fight, I need
Sound like my brother.
$500,000.
This is what my brother told
If
me.
we do, so
This
you
is what my
already
brother told
you
me after the
negotiated your deals.
My brother said, "What you should have did was had that nigga put the." He
It
did.
depends on
My
what you-
brother told me after the fact, though.
It depends because if you led like that,
No, you have to because only if you taking her from something she's already doing.
I mean, yeah, if she's already like
She's already
yeah.
doing her thing.
I mean, to be honest with you, this was a long time ago when you quit, right?
2011.
Okay, so and it was actually, I was a young boy then, and I was watching it. It was starting to grow. But by starting to grow, I mean like compared to the height of that profession right now.
Right. So the difference then and now.
It was hotter back then.
It was hotter then, and I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yo,
the difference then, I'm gonna tell you. The difference then and now is.
I think it's
social
hotter now
media.
because
They
it's
were getting
commercialized.
Covers in magazines back then.
No, exactly.
Covers.
Somebody said that. She said she doesn't dance like she does today. She's nice with it.
Yeah, I was an entertainer.
I
I was
was-
never.
Oh.
I was.
Covers in
I mean-
magazines.
But here's the thing. Back then, I started Magic City in 2005. I was there from 2005 to 2011, 6 years, right? This is Jeezy coming to a club spending $40,000
In one night.
regularly, not just in one night.
Big
On the
Meech.
regularly, Big Meech and BMF. I came like right before they all got locked up. But the culture had already, the seed had already been planted. So now that the dope boys is in jail, here come the rappers and the ball players keeping it up. This is the Lil Wayne and Fat Joe Make It Rain days. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the
I
money
was
was
in high
different
school.
then. There were ball players and rappers coming in the club spending 20, 30, 40,000 like it was nothing.
Rico.
QCP.
200 grand on a night, bro. That's how much would be in the club.
QCP was
You don't think they do that
in
now?
the
I think they
street.
do way more than that now.
No, they don't. And he would
No,
come
they
to the
don't.
club and spend that type of
20,000.
money.
So you're trying to tell me that
As a street nigga.
the strip dance, the stripper / dancer nightlife portion, right, has diminished in its gains or revenue
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why.
in the last 10 years, 15
Yes.
years?
I would say in the last
He's saying Elizabeth.
5 to 7 years, and I'm gonna tell you why. Social media. Men aren't coming to the strip club when they can go down their timeline and see ass. What are they gonna come to strip club and buy it for?
I guess that's true because that's
When
how
they
I
can
feel.
see it on the
I
fucking
never
phone.
thought about that.
That's how I felt.
Never thought
And these
about
girls these days, I'm an OG in this game. These girls these days don't give fantasy. I bartend in the strip club currently, and these girls be on the stage shooting guns and rapping and shit, and I'm like, girl, be sexy. Don't no man want to come in here and throw money on you because you shooting guns in the air?
That's a fact. I
Girl,
laugh though.
be a
It's funny.
fantasy.
It's fun.
No,
Be a
cool.
fantasy.
Yeah, you have.
When I was a dancer, it was you are providing this fantasy for this man. He's gonna come here to get what he can't get at home. He's gonna come here to get away from his everyday problems. He's gonna come here because he only could dream about having a girl like you. You get what I'm saying? And he still can't even have you. But he can have you for these 20 minutes that you grinding on his dick. He can have you for this 15 minutes that you smiling in his face. These girls don't do that these days. They're so stuck on clout. They're so stuck on who knows me, how many followers I got, or the popularity of it. They took the fantasy out of strip. And guess what else left? The coin.
Because the fantasy is what really will get you to
The
pay.
fantasy is what got you the coin.
I said bye to TikTok. Bye, guys.
Ciao, TikTok.
Big shout out to
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Make sure y'all jump onto YouTube Live if you want to keep watching or sign to our Patreon.
Rico. In Elizabeth alone, just in 2 clubs, Cinderella's and there was another one, bro. In Cinderella's, on a given night, if there was less than 75 in that club being thrown that night, it was a slow night.
And what year
Really?
was this?
This 0405.
Period.
0405. 0450. You know when everything
I don't know no different.
Yeah,
You gotta remember,
045,
like
yo,
by
it
the time
was
I was
crazy.
18,
0405, you was on the steps. You was still on the porch. How old are you?
I'm 29. So
Yeah.
How old were you in 04? Like,
I was in 6th grade.
You was still on the couch.
Maybe even less, right? I was 12. I might have been in 7th grade. Like,
So you had no idea what strip was,
I did. Like,
but not really.
I mean,
But not really.
I started very early in my life. I was in the strip club by 16.
Okay. But at
You know.
12, you ain't know what was happening.
By 12, nah.
You knew about it, but you didn't know.
I didn't know. I never knew what the atmosphere was.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You
And
didn't know
honestly,
the
by the
feel.
time from 16 to 18, I was already over the strip club. Like, I was like, this is like, all right. Like,
Let me tell y'all who loves the strip club. Older, Caucasian, professional men will forever be committed to strip. For young black males, for young minority because I'm not just gonna say black because the Spanish and the Asians and the younger crowd they're here for the novelty. They're here for this song is hot and they throw the money on this song. My homeboy, a rapper, we try and get his song played. They're here for this is the thing. This is the it's the popular thing to do. But the older, and when I say older, I mean 35 and up, right? The 35 and up professional man, mostly Caucasian, those are the ones who are going to stay in the strip club and really be committed. The ones that's going in the champagne room, the ones that's trying to be sugar daddies. Those are who's keeping strip alive. This hood club, black club, ghetto club, whatever you want to call it, era is slowly but surely dying.
It's done.
It's not the same.
It's a different game.
I don't even go.
I bartend in the strip club. Shout out to Club Rain Atlanta, 16th. I bartend there on Wednesdays and Saturdays. For my birthday, I did a birthday set. I got on stage and danced. I didn't take my clothes off, but I got on stage and danced. When I did birthday sets at Magic City, the least amount of money I made was $5,000. The most amount of money I made was $17,000. I made $3,000 at my birthday set as me today.
But that's the market. That's the way it is. There's no money in the clubs like that.
My point. My guy.
No money in the
That's the point.
clubs.
She said,
my guy, I work in the hood.
Yeah.
I work in the hood club.
Yeah.
And they wasn't checking for me.
I tell people
Yeah, they didn't care. And I didn't shoot no guns in there.
maybe it's because you didn't.
Rico, I'm not even trying to be funny. It's like back, like it was very. There was strips of cars that could go for 16 blocks, and they were all luxury cars.
Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces,
But now it's like
big
it's just a
Cadillac
different time.
Escalade that cost $120. The autobiography Range Rover.
I never even.
You ain't about to go down.
Down memory lane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy because, as obviously, like, when you grow up, once you become an adult, whatever's the reality for that time frame is your reality of it,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Like I found myself becoming a little bit older when I started to have to tell my little young boys, like, about Lil Wayne and like his whole time frame, and they're like, well, Lil Wayne was really like a popular rapper, and it's like, wait, what?
Lil Wayne gave me my name.
Lil Wayne gave you your name?
Gigi Maguire.
See, there we go. See?
Wow, really? That's crazy.
There's also a song where he talks about how good I suck his dick, but I don't think I ever said that on camera.
You just said that.
Sorry, Wayne.
We still got that consent form, right?
People, yeah, look, I stand by my shit. So there was this time where me and Wayne had a little friendship, with benefits friendship. He was my buddy, and I went to Wayne's World a lot, and he. When I got into my relationship with my ex, I just kind of faded away from talking to him, being with him, because now I'm in this relationship. And I hadn't seen him for 2 years because I've been in this relationship. And we were at Summer Jam. And I told this story on Lipservice, but I never told that it was Lil Wayne. So now everybody that heard the story on Lipservice, it's Lil Wayne. I was at the concert with my boyfriend at the time, who was my ex that I was with for so long, and a music industry executive, remember that part. And Lil Wayne sees me, and he throws his hands up, and I'm like, oh, shit, right? And then he's performing at Summer Jam. It's him and Corey Guns, 6 foot, 7 foot. He says his verse. When Corey Guns goes to rap his verse, he runs to the side of the stage, grabs my face, and kisses me in my mouth. My boyfriend is standing right behind me.
Like, I was a big Lil Wayne fan. GOAT.
But he didn't know that I was in a relationship. He didn't know that I was with this guy.
I don't think he was being disrespectful.
It was a very natural reaction to seeing his bitch that he ain't seen in 2 years, because I kind of just like faded away, like, and stopped speaking to him, and that became a problem. Now, I had already told my boyfriend that me and him had what we had, because I would never want it to come to him
to find out on
no. So I felt like, in the beginning of us being serious, I felt like, okay, since y'all are in the same industry and I assume y'all know each other, then I should probably tell you that this is this guy that I had something with. It was never a real relationship. I've never said I was his girlfriend. We just had what we had. But in hindsight, I wish that I didn't tell him, because they wasn't even really friends, and he threw it up in my face every chance he get. And oh God, when that man kissed me in my face, it made it so much worse.
Oh.
And then 2 years after that, the song came out. He says, my bitch named Gigi suck my dick. I'd be like, goodness gracious, fuck. He used to say my G stood for goodness gracious, because I used to have that nigga climbing up the fucking bed.
I know that song.
Stick in my mouth.
I know that song.
I'm at Gigi. Devastation. Yeah, I got your bitch. I got your bitch.
I'm like, Gigi, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, that's me. So the whole name thing is, I was on the tour bus. I was on the tour bus. We was probably high on X or something. I don't know. And smoking some weed. And he's playing unreleased music. And he says, like, Weezy Maguire, show me the money. And I repeated, Gigi Maguire, show me the money.
Go.
And he was like, yeah.
Go.
That's it. Keep that. Run with that. So that's how the Maguire came on to Gigi, and I kept it ever since. And I actually owned that. I copyrighted Gigi Maguire back in 2012. So I own the rights to use Gigi Maguire as a name for entertainment purposes.
So anybody who thought that they were slick,
you gotta pay licensing fees.
Period.
Our business is good over here.
Wait, I haven't seen him in a long time, and we had a really good friendship that lasted about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, shout out to Weezy, shout out to Gigi.
He's my guy.
Big shout out. And I've always heard nothing but good things about him.
He's amazing. He's very smart. He's a family man. He will take care of everybody around you. One time I was on a tour bus and my period came on, and I woke up in a pool of blood, and I was scared to tell him. And when I finally told him, he laughed at me. Like, I was so scared that he was going to flip out on me. And I'm like, I should have known. Like, you know, I should have known that my period was coming. I should have been prepared. And he's like, you're a woman. That shit happens. Like, what's wrong with you? And I was just like, you're not mad? And he was like, why would I be mad that you got your period? And I'm like, it's on your sheets. And he's like, we can get new sheets, girl. Like, you're tripping. Like, I literally was scared to tell. It was me and another girl because we have a lot of threesomes. And we woke up in the morning.
You were going to blame her?
No. We woke up in the morning. No. We woke up in the morning. And he left the bed, and we're still in the bed. And when I realize I'm laying in a pool of blood, I tell her, like, oh, shit, I just got my period. What am I doing? And she's like, you got to tell him. I'm like, I'm scared. And she's like, just tell him. And I'm like, no, I'm scared. And then she's like, all right, I'm going to go to the front and get him and tell him to come back here. So then that way it'll just be you, and you could tell him. So she went, and she's like, Gigi needs you on the back. And
you was sitting there like a scared dog. Like your poodle?
I was sitting on the towel, like, I
don't know how to tell you this.
Put your hand right here so you can just feel how hard my heart is beating, because I'm so scared to tell you this right now. And he's like, what? What's wrong? What's wrong? And I'm like, just promise me you're not going to be mad. And he's like, what? What's wrong? And I'm like,
he thinking something way worse.
Right. I'm like, I just woke up to my period. And he's like, okay.
He's like, thank God. It could have been like,
oh, no.
I'll take that over anything else.
But yeah, that's a few of my Wayne memories. I don't know. That was kind of
big shout out to Butterflies on YouTube. Oh no, somebody said something. I'm not gonna read that. No, it's not nothing bad. They're just saying that they want to see a lot more people on the live. Believe me, first of all, we're gonna not put this video out until we're gonna edit it from the cameras. We just wanted to share the moment with you guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
the production moment.
Yeah, we wanted to just share the production moment, but this is probably gonna come out in a couple of days.
Yeah.
This is so dope.
You guys are
well,
awesome.
Gigi, I want to say thank you for pulling up. You know, one thing about me is, like, I'm a person who I love and live for honesty, especially on people's stories. But honesty that people understand their own story. Like, some people just be being honest with their own lies.
No.
Does that make sense?
Let me tell you something about me. For one, I smoke a whole lot of weed. I know I don't smoke on camera, or I don't kind of put out that pothead persona, but if you know me in real life, y'all
You be
already
cooling
know.
on your show.
I smoke. I do.
I be seeing
smoke
you
a lot of weed, right?
Like this.
Yeah, I mean, I come out, I pop out when I need to, but I've learned from doing lip service and with having so many people in the conversation, I've learned to take those pockets and jump in and not overtalk. I used to do a lot of overtalking.
Okay.
When I was drinking, you know, when you're trying to get your point across and you cut into.
We're so used to this on
somebody's
8 at the
saying,
table, yeah.
And you speak a little louder so that, you know, your voice can be overpowering, and you know what I'm saying? So I learned to not do that, and maybe sometimes I don't speak up as much because of that, and that's probably something I need to work on. But I would rather be more respectful to the guests and my co-hosts and kind of fall back than keep pushing myself and trying to make my voice be heard.
No, you guys do a great job. You guys do an amazing job.
Thank you. Shout out to Lipservice. Shout out to Angela for giving me that opportunity. Her and my ex are really good friends, and me and her created our own relationship. And when she decided to make Lipservice a podcast, she just felt like I would be perfect to be a co-host, because I'm so open and I'm so sexual, and I'm just so real and transparent. Yeah. Thank you.
You guys,
and you know, in the beginning, people kind of would like.
Too, like,
I'm very, and that's what I was about to say.
I like the experience.
The thing is, in the beginning, it kind of came off like I was proud to be a slut. Like, this bitch always talking about this, she done did this, she done did that, da, 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 da. But this has really been my life. And I think that, again, going back to why I think we didn't get to that, I kind of skipped over, but why I think I have one of the best vaginas in the world besides.
Yeah, I wanted to know, we have more time?
Besides people telling
We have time.
Besides people telling me that I have amazing sex, head, vagina, everything, that I'm just very good in bed and very passionate. Besides people that I've been with telling me that, I enjoy sex. I enjoy every part of sex, right? So when you enjoy something, you're going to be good at it.
Yep, sure.
And also, I'm a pleaser. I'm a giver. And yes, I've had a lot of experience. When you do something a lot of times, you become good at it. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And not to say that I've had a lot of experience with different people, because guess what? People always say, oh, she slept with 20 niggas, she a hoe. But I can have one nigga and fuck him 55 times, the same amount of times that this bitch got fucked by 20 niggas.
You don't
What
gotta
difference
explain
do it
nothing
make?
to anybody.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying in general.
Wait, hold on, wait, time out. Wait.
No.
I was with you.
No. I'm gonna tell you why.
I agree.
If the box is getting beat by one person twice as much as it's getting beat by multiple people, the box is going to still be the box.
Well,
You
it
get what I'm
depends
saying?
because now we gotta get into real things in the sense of like, okay, the box is getting beat by one person 1,000 times, right? Versus
50 people 1,000.
50
Divided by
people
1,000
1,000 times.
50 people 500 times. The box is getting beat twice as much by one person
Than it is.
half as much by multiple people, but the multiple people is the problem.
Well, the multiple people, yeah, because you got, well, I don't know. This is just me being open and transparent. You know, I had a long reign of unprotected sex, right? So, like, if you got 50 unprotected sexers, that's way different than having one person 1,000 times. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that,
I'm just speaking from the experience level.
yeah.
So I've had a lot of experience. I was a serial girlfriend, serial wifey, but I've always been in a relationship.
And you've always been
Very
real.
sexual, always. I'm very sexual. I've always been. I'm never single. Until I was single when I broke up with my ex. I was single for like 2 years, but I was having sex, clearly. But
Did you have a boyfriend in those 2 years?
no, I have a boyfriend now. But I spent 2 years single, and I did have some sex. I had some really good sex.
Did you date? Like go out, or did you just
of
did you
course.
circle back to old friends?
No. I dated. There was a guy that I dated that I never had sex with. There was a guy that I dated that I had a lot of sex with.
Wait, what was the difference between them two? Because you were dating them both.
Dated
yeah.
that I didn't have sex with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very generous, and he was
What did SO said they don't want gentlemen.
he was no, it's
He
not
probably
that.
just taking care of her.
I'm gonna tell y'all what it was. He was very generous. So I like a man that is gonna offer without you having to ask.
And he
right?
did that.
And he did that, right? I also like a man who is intelligent, and he was not that.
Oh.
He was not intelligent.
Oh.
And not to say that you have to be a scholar, because guess what? I never graduated high school. I don't have anybody's diploma or degree. However, I'm still intelligent,
Oh my God.
you know? And this man was
I agree.
kind of a dummy. And I was completely turned off by the fact that this man was a dunce. He was a dunce. And it would be like,
That's
it
my-
would be things
that's my
like,
pet
he
peeve.
didn't know what a hermit crab was.
What?
Jay-Z put out his catalog on his birthday, and I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, and I was
Same.
I was happy that Jay-Z put out his catalog, because now I don't only have to listen to Tidal. I can go to Spotify and hear Jay, right?
Yeah.
This man says, well, what's a catalog?
Oh.
He wanted to get into the music industry.
He wanted to.
He wanted to get into the music industry. I guess he had some street money that he was trying to flip and get in the music industry, and he was hoping that I could help him with my celebrity Rolodex and, you know, the people that I rub shoulders with and elbows with on a regular basis, right? And I asked him, I said, well, what's your drive? He said, what do you mean? What kind of money I got to put up? No, nigga, why you want to do this shit? You want to know what his answer was? Well, my homeboys. He was from, I don't want to say.
Let's not say.
I don't want to say where he's from.
He's
but
from somewhere in the U.S.
Homeboys
He had to
from
be-
his town.
he had to be far away from the
invested their
tri-state.
money into some artist that made it big, so he felt like he was left behind and he could do the same thing.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Was he in Dayton? No, I'm
No.
kidding. Makes sense. Kind of close.
So yeah, that was a difference. And listen, it got to the point where he did so much without me having to ask. I almost felt like I owed him some pussy. Like, even though I wasn't
Even though
sexually
you didn't give it
attracted
to
to
him.
That's how it usually
even
happens.
though I wasn't sexually attracted to him, I felt
So
like by
happens.
default, if he tried,
You
then
gotta
I would
give it
just
to him.
give it to him because he earned the pussy.
Yep.
But he never tried.
because he was scared.
He never tried, and it would
He
be
didn't
like,
take it, but he
slept-
earned it.
He slept in my bed.
That's
I
like
sleep
paying for
naked.
food and not eating.
He slept in my bed multiple times.
Naked?
And yes, and he never tried.
Why didn't you take it?
No, because
you
I didn't
wanted.
care. I didn't
Oh,
want it. So.
shit.
No.
Oh, I mean,
A
and
lot-
he did mention
lot-
one time, like, you know, we should have been cuddling or something. But I mean, my ass
Oh,
was
you know that.
this, you know, this. And you ain't do nothing, so I turned that ass off and went to sleep. What you want me to do? Rape you? I mean, and I am an initiator.
Maybe, but I'm about
an
to say.
initiator, but I'm an initiator.
Can
when
I ask you a
when
question,
I'm
though?
feeling
Well,
it
you
and I-
initiated by being naked.
I'm about to say,
so that kind of works out.
Weren't you probably? I'm guessing. I'm not even.
And this
Did you-
this was during the 2 years that I was single from leaving my.
So you was hot and ready.
Yes.
Okay. Did you kind of initiate and lead the relationship for the majority of the other categories? Like
Everything else was the reason why he stayed around.
like in a sense,
No,
was
you-
like if we want to eat or if you want to eat, we're gonna go here. Okay. Boom. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
Mostly because he lived in another city. So when I saw him, it was because he came to visit in Atlanta. And the first 2 times I made him get a suite. But after the second time, I let him come to my house. So he probably came to my house maybe 4 or 5 times. So maybe, you know, he was in my
Yeah, but-
area. He was in my town. So of course I'm going to say, let's go here, let's go there. Because
Nah.
I never took a trip anywhere. I never went to his.
No, but who
He
was
has
leading
money,
the
so-
I
relationship?
kind of
Yeah,
had
yeah,
like home team advantage.
No, you had
So-
you had the pants. Like we gotta be realistic. You had the pants
Okay.
of the relationship.
Okay. I never thought about it like that, but
You was in
I'm not gonna
control.
debate
He
you
was scared.
against
Yo,
it.
he was scared to take a.
He was
honestly-
scared of
he was
rejection. Men
intimidated.
are scared of rejection.
I think he was intimidated.
He was intimidated.
I
That's-
think he was intimidated.
and he's like, whatever
Because-
she's gonna be okay with is what I'm going with. I'm not gonna
Behave
move.
myself.
Yeah.
So if you started something, then he would react. He was a
I
reciprocator.
I definitely think he was intimidated for sure. And listen, his loss because
You wanted to give it to him.
He's
didn't,
tight
Well,
right
you
but
now.
I
could've
would
got
have.
it.
I felt like he earned it, even though I didn't want to have sex with him. I felt like, damn, this man did so much for me. I can't tell him.
Does he
no.
have a second chance if you were to be single again? Like, hey, I heard you talking on eight at the
time
table.
passed.
I can't get over that dunce
Can I just
cap.
get that little, you know what I'm
That
saying?
dunce cap.
Just that little
That-
one thing.
That
like-
dunce cap ain't coming off. And the time had listen, statute of limitation. That time has passed. That coochie coupon has expired. Okay.
God damn, bro.
Sorry.
I
Hey,
know
big
he's
fella.
mad. He's gonna see this. He's gonna be like,
Probably.
damn.
Learn from your
But
mistakes.
Learn,
He's
man.
gonna be like,
learn.
damn it. All right.
Wow, this is a real crystal glass. Y'all got money over here.
So we're gonna say thank you to Gigi Maguire. This was an incredible YouTube. We're gonna have this up probably for another hour, then we're taking it down. So if y'all gonna watch it, watch it.
Period.
And then you guys will see it again in like a day or two. We're gonna put it back up after it's edited.
Nice.
So big shout out.
Big shout out to
You wanna
Gigi.
say anything?
I appreciate y'all first and foremost for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you for
This
coming.
was so
Yeah, you were dope.
refreshing, and I just, I love to be able to have healthy communication
Love it.
with, like-minded folks, and healthy debates and that thing. So I really didn't know what to expect. I did watch a few shows, didn't know what to expect, but I'm here for it. So I appreciate y'all. Anybody looking for my OnlyFans? MsShowMeTheMoney. Link in my bio on Instagram.
I want to see the waters.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't. You know what? I'ma do the water. I ain't did it in a long time. My ex made me stop doing it. I'ma do it.
Look,
And these
my
days,
first time I actually want to go and sign up to somebody's
I'ma do the water on
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. I'ma
It's
do
all
it.
support.
And my hair,
It's
I
all
got wet hair
support.
right now too, so I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. Miss Show Me the Money, OnlyFans /MsShowMeTheMoney. That's also my hashtag if you ever want to find anything I posted on Instagram. My Instagram is @Gigi Maguire, GigiMaguire. Same on Twitter, even though I don't be over there that much. And Lipservice, you can find me on AngelaYee's Lipservice podcast. We release episodes every Tuesday on AngelaYee's YouTube page. I'm in Atlanta. Come to Atlanta. Come see me at Rain. I got you on the Casamigos shot. Pull up. tell me that you saw me on 8 at the table and first drink on me. I'm there Wednesday nights and Saturday nights behind the bar in my blue ensemble, my titties on my chin. And because I like to do this, you know. I don't know what else. Oh, what's coming up? What I got going on? Shit, follow me. I don't know. Find me. I'm here.
And then we're gonna tag Gigi, and we're gonna put a bunch of stuff in the stories.
Oh, yeah. So if you didn't get a chance to watch season 2 of P-Valley, thank you for that. If you didn't get a chance to see season 2 of P-Valley, here's the thing with P-Valley. A lot of men feel like they can't watch it because of all of the homosexual.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I was just standing in the room, but
I seen season 1, and we met Uncle Clifford at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Nice,
Very cool
nice.
people.
Shout out to Nico.
Yeah, it was
shout out
dope.
to Katori Hall. Shout out to Brandy. Shout out to the whole
real good
P-Valley
peoples.
family. I'm here for it all. Season 2, I make an appearance as myself on episode 5. And P-Valley, you know, a lot of men feel like they can't watch it because of the homosexual activities, but it's about a strip club. It's 2 gay people, maybe 3, but it's 50 bitches and 100 titties. So go watch P-Valley. And it has a really good storyline as well. And I'm not just saying that because
It's yours.
my life. It's really a good story.
I seen season 1. It's a good. It's
Also,
good.
I did We TV's Beyond the Pole season 2. If you want to go watch that on All Black or We TV, you can find that on demand. Just watch out for your girl. I got a book coming. I'm just trying to do the most.
Yeah, somebody said that Aaron the Renegade was
They
like,
want
you need
my
to.
book.
Yeah,
They want my
everybody's
book
waiting for that
bad.
book.
They want my book bad. I'm working on it. Angela's actually helping me with my book.
Okay.
Shout out to
So,
Angela.
yeah, shout out to Angela. We love
Big
Angela.
shout out to her.
The book, you know what? One thing about the book, I used to sit on Wayne's tour bus with a 3-ring binder and write. And he would be like, "What are you writing?" And I'd be like, "My book." And he's like, "Just writing it?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." The thing with that is I was still living my story.
I see.
Right,
And you still
and I still am, but I never really felt like the time. You know, everything is about timing when it comes to, you know, this type of shit. And I feel like I was still living my story. I feel like yes, I was popular in some aspects, but I didn't have the star power that I have now.
Yeah.
And not to say that because I'm not the biggest, but,
No, but
I am big
yeah,
enough right now, and I've told my story and tidbits of my story between lip service and interviews like this enough times that I feel like it's time to give the people more because I keep leaving little breadcrumbs. It's time to just cut the damn bread.
But even dope is that after something like this conversation, people will run to go get the book because they want to read the story.
They want to know more.
You see what I'm saying? You see how they run into OnlyFans, so they'll run to Barnes and Noble.
Who's that? You mean we?
yeah,
And I've never signed up, but
pull up on my OnlyFans.
I'm gonna support Gigi.
I'm gonna
I
get
gotta
the
get
water.
downtown Atlanta.
I'm gonna get
Be
the
watching
water.
it with you. I don't.
We gonna
I'm
support
gonna pour the
Gigi.
water trick out. I'm gonna pour the water trick out just for y'all.
Can we get an 8 at the table OnlyFans so we can support our guests?
Yeah, I should. Subscribe.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I
Thank you for
appreciate
coming.
y'all.
We
I really
appreciate it.
Yes.
YouTube, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Definitely jump on the Patreon, guys. Daybox, you guys know what it is. Thank you to Gigi Maguire for coming through. Looking forward to it. And just good to have really strong, positive energy, people that you know that are real. I think the real always survive the test of time. It doesn't matter.
Facts.
When you're real. And it's just like, it's hard to explain that to somebody who's not.
Who's not, period.
Everybody could be real if you find the real you and you be your real self.
Gotta be yourself.
And once you be your real self, you can make it through anything. Peace, everybody.
Yes. Part 2 whenever y'all need me. I'm here.
Got it.